Back to Lino-cut. I love this very basic and simple way of printmaking. I've planned a piece that has two snakes, and both have a similar habitat. They're in the southern states of the USA, and you know I never work from photographs. So I was off to the USA, where I'm going to meet up with a local herp legend. We're going to track down some of these American snakes. Now I get to catch my very first venomous snake, Australian style, in America. I'm a snake artist. My mission in life is to get people to appreciate art and wildlife. So hold on to your pencil cases, because art just got wild. These two snakes are very similar to look at. In fact, people get them mixed up. One is the Cottonmouth, also known as a water moccasin. The other one is the water snake. So the water moccasin is venomous, quite dangerous if you mess with it the wrong way, whereas the water snake is completely harmless. Now, when I say dangerous, it's only dangerous if you mess with it. And that's what I plan to do, mess with it in the worst possible way. I've caught some of the most highly venomous snakes in the world using my Australian system. And that is to have a bit of leather between some spring steel and a golf stick. It's a jigger that sort of holds their head down, and then you actually have to grab the snake by the back of the head. Will this work on American pit vipers? There's only one way to find out. And that's why I've gone to Texas. I'm here travelling through Texas to meet up with Joe Farah. Because it's so hot, we have to go out at night, driving around at night time looking for reptiles. Off the side of the road we see all sorts of animals, even skunks. At one stage we turn off the side of the road and we see the biggest frog I've ever seen. I can hardly believe my eyes. A bit more driving and we come across our first snake. I don't know if it's dangerous or not.
Did he bite?
Alright, I'm going to take a video.
So he did bite me, so that's okay.
Yeah. Oh shoot. No, I forgot, he is venomous.
Oh, damn.
I'm just kidding. No, go ahead, grab him by the body. He's totally harmless. He might smell you up a little, but... Now, these are actually immune to the venom of rattlesnakes and other vipers, and they eat them. Other snakes will eat rattlesnakes and things like that, but they're not immune to the venom. These guys actually have something in their blood that neutralizes the venom.
Wow, really?
It's really cool. So that's called a speckled king snake.
Oh.
So I've seen king snakes that look a bit like coral snakes, you know?
Yep, there are scarlet king snakes that look like coral snakes. This is our first snake of the night. It's a speckled king snake. Bit though, but that's only right.
Several times.
He deserved it. He's just minding his own business.
That's beautiful stuff.
Yeah, he is.
It's not close.
So I'm going to stink really well after this.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. If we didn't go home smelling like snakes, we failed. You know what we could do is throw them in the car and keep looking. And then, you know, if we don't find anything, then we can stop and work with them. Yeah, you can keep them overnight.
So Lino-cut is a technique where you're making something like a big rubber stamp. Everything's back to front. So if you write anything, you have to write it in reverse. And I'm carving away the parts that I want to be white. I'm leaving behind the parts that want to be printed black. It's one of the reasons I give the whole lino block just a thin coat of paint, like a dark, well, in this case like a bluey grey. So when I carve it away, the white lino underneath sort of stands out. It gives me a better idea of what the end result's going to be like. Printmaking is one of those art forms. It's a real game of chess. It's like you've got to plan all your moves in advance. While looking around at the side of the road at night time, we see a turtle red-eared slider, I believe, and they're fairly common around here. I hate seeing them on the road because often you see them squashed. I love turtles. Another art piece I want to do in the future is an art piece about armour, about natural armour, and so I'm sort of keeping my eye out for turtles as well.
The stripes and the colour.
It's kind of algae on the shell. Let's have a look at him underneath. It's not going like this.
Oh, look at the stripes.
Beautiful colours.
Isn't it beautiful?
This guy's gorgeous.
Oh, the eyes.
So while Jennifer and I are looking at the turtle, Joe shows up with one of the snakes I want, the water snake. This is what we're looking for.
This is Yellow Bellied Water Snake.
Beautiful.
Not venomous, but very
Oh.
bitey and smelly. You can smell him already.
I can.
And he's
yeah.
about to shed, so save ourselves from yesterday.
Oh, it's fast.
This guy almost got away, so.
Oh, Joe, wow.
That is a
You
look.
see the stripe? Gosh, that smell.
That's the snake.
That's overwhelming.
You got a snake coming up.
Straight into your backpack with all your other personal belongings.
Fine. Oh, the smell bad is all. Starting to break.
Oh, he's
There
out.
you go.
He's out.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to put him in a different compartment.
Somebody hold the turtle.
Oh,
A little bit of light here. There we go.
That's gonna smell nice.
Yes, certainly will. That's right, there's backpacks. Just do it. Alright, he's in.
Lovely.
What does he stink?
it does.
And we've had a good look at the turtle. One thing that Jennifer and I really like is to see these guys go free. Okay, we've picked it up near the road, we've sort of, handled it. It might be stressed, and maybe that might make it think twice about coming back onto the road, which will be a good thing, because, like I say, we see so many of these guys dead on the road, and it's a real shame.
Ready?
This is Joe officially releasing.
Red-eared slider.
Oh, nice.
There he goes. Shortly after, we come across the target species, the Cottonmouth.
Oh, look at the tail.
Yeah, they vibrate it. That's like all snakes around here do that.
Crack on me too, I think. He is a stinker. He's a venomous one, is he?
Sure is.
What will happen if he bites me?
Well, we'll have to drive you to the nearest hospital.
Oh, okay. Well, I better not let him bite me.
And then you'll get to experience America's notoriously shitty healthcare system.
Oh, Phil.
Get him in the light.
But generally, these guys won't try to crawl off. So if you were to, like, put them in the road, they'll gape, like open their mouths. And
Okay.
although after this, I don't know, I might try to escape, but you can always put them in a pillowcase.
Yeah, I've got a pillowcase.
Cool. I was hoping you'd see one of these.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a happy man.
All right, that's a good find.
He's beautiful.
The copperhead's cousin.
So he's in the viper family.
Yep, he's a pit viper. Sorry.
Okay.
So this is Cottonmouth, and they get the name from their defense display, which is to gape their mouth wide open and display the white insides as a threat.
Nice patterns underneath too.
Yeah, and they're pretty much aquatic. They're associated with water. So they feed on a lot of frogs, and they actually eat a lot of other snakes too. I've come across them eating non-venomous water snakes. Pretty much anywhere you've got water here in southeast Texas, you can find these. And you get substantially bigger than this, and as they get larger, they start to lose their pattern and fade out and look almost black, some of them.
So is this about half grown or what?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably 2 years old. The youngsters have a bright yellow tail tip, which they use for that caudal luring, you know? So they'll sit there and they'll wriggle the tail to make it look like a caterpillar or something. Now these guys, unfortunately, are very hated around here. I mean, people just slaughter these things. And unfortunately, because the non-venomous water snakes look so much like them, a lot of them get killed because people think they're the venomous cottonmouth, and they just chop their head off. They run over them on purpose with a car. It's awful. So they don't get a lot of love around here, but I think they're amazing.
I love them.
It's a snake hustle to love.
Yeah.
Want to bag them up?
Yeah, let's bag them up.
Get anybody bit here. Perfect. That my lefty.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, that's a nifty trick.
Come in.
We got a professional.
So I'm working away with these tools, and I've got a few different tools, and what I tend to use for lino is a little bit different from what I use with wood. With lino, I often get away with using these cheap student tools. They're quite good because lino takes a long time for them to get blunt. However, for more fine detail, I like this tool here. This is called Lino-cut. And this one I use on wood and on lino, and then there's other tools I just use on wood. This is good because it gets in the really fine details. And what I'm doing here is cross-hatching. When you do cross-hatching in reverse, what you end up doing is cutting out the tiny little squares between the cross-hatching like this. So I'm using a small V-gouge. And I use it both ways. It just seems to be just right to get those tiny little itty bitty squares. It's sort of trying to make the lino look like it's an ink drawing. It's trying to imitate a cross hatching that you do with ink. The next day I meet up with Jonathan Manning, aka Artistic Biker. In the light of the day we have some snake sketching to do. The first model is a speckled king snake. We're in the same area where Joe and I caught the snakes, but further away from the road. It's great to have the company of another artist and nature lover. And fun to have a model that won't keep still. I usually get very scribbly sketches like this, but it is a good experience. Drawing from real life does have a different look than drawing from a photograph. There's more life to it. So we released this beautiful speckled king snake. Hopefully it'll keep away from the road and enjoy life without getting squished by a car. Next I bring out the water moccasin, or the cottonmouth, and I notice that Jonathan is keeping his distance. I've noticed this is a bit of a trend in America, that Americans don't tend to hang around venomous snakes. Is there something they know that I don't? Is it what Joe said about the crappy medical system? Does it cost a lot of money? I put sort of apprehensions out of my mind and I get on with the sketch. After all, I sketch king browns and eastern browns and tiger snakes. These are the most deadliest venomous snakes in the world, so what's a cottonmouth? It's going to ruin my holiday. I don't want to spend my week in America in hospital.
I have to admit I'm worried, Bill.
Just got to tire him out a bit.
Not so standard.
A beautiful white stripe under his eye. Over his cheek. That's got me on my toes. I decide to grab it by the head. So here's the famous Australian way of catching a snake. It's intimidating, isn't it? Those fangs. Using my jigger, which has a bit of leather between the spring steel, I pin its head down and I very carefully grab it by the back of the neck. If I can feel its jaw bones, I know I'm okay. Alright, a little quick sketch of him now. So far it seems alright. The only trouble is it's so hot. I'm sort of suffering from excitement, from worrying about passing out in the heat. My hands are shaking and it's just so unpleasantly hot. I just want to get this sketch done fast. And the other thing I notice about this guy is the fangs, the fang length on this guy. It's the massive fangs, they hinge out. Another thing I'm not used to, in Australia, although we have the most venomous snakes, the snakes don't have long fangs like this. These fangs look like they go through anything. Still, I am impressed at how beautiful this guy is, the beautiful markings, and he does remind me very much of the death adder. Similar body shape, slit eyes. The death adder does look a bit like a viper. But both the cottonmouth and the death adder are both beautiful in their own way. Maybe one day I'll do a piece of art that includes both death adder and cottonmouth. But to stay on track with the piece of art I'm doing now, I've got to do the water snake and the cottonmouth. I'll be releasing him really soon, Jen. Alright. Bye-bye. There he goes. Beautiful camouflage. I love my life as a snake artist. I love to experience these snakes. I mean, that that wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous water moccasin or cottonmouth. The way it opened his mouth, it was almost, well, it was like 180 degrees open, big fangs. That's an experience, that's excitement, that's adrenaline flowing, it's fantastic. And so that's just a wonderful part of my life. I just enjoy doing that so much, to have that connection. And that's why I don't work from photographs, because I'd miss out on all that fun. But I also have a balance in my life. I also love the calm, peaceful, relaxing, just getting a simple tool and just simply carving out a bit like this. Working on a detailed work of art, it's, I guess, I've never really done meditation, but I imagine that must be what people are feeling when they meditate. It's just relaxing. So we've looked at the cottonmouth, and now it's time to look at the water snake. And he is fired up and he is ready to go. He is a handful. But I am determined to get a sketch in no matter what. It's very, very similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, the shape of the head. Look at that yellow.
So yeah, I think I will pin him, hold him, sketch him, and then after I've pinned him, he might settle. You bit yourself, you funny thing. Oh, this guy's strong. Don't hurt yourself. Oh, but beautiful. Look at that gorgeous face. What a pretty face she's got.
Oh, stripes.
That's beautiful. Alright. I'm going to sit down and do a quick sketch of this guy. My glasses are going on. Snake nose gets old, he puts glasses on. Yeah, the eye on this one's much more like the snakes I'm used to, I'm thinking. When you have a real close look at the face, the face has got a sweet, innocent look to it. I love the striped lips. Where are you going now? Back to there. So hard to get good models these days.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hey! He's fast. And he's gone. This is Jonathan Manning, the artistic biker.
Wait, have I got an artistic biker shirt on?
You do.
Okay, good. Make sure.
A very good friend of mine.
I'm going to respect any snake that's out there anyway. I mean, if you walk up on it, until you can get close enough to see its eyes and its nose, you can never really be sure. But like diamondbacks, you can recognize the pattern pretty plain. The rattlesnakes, you can see the rattle. But if you can't see any of that, like the one you just had was a cottonmouth, and then you let go another one that was a water snake, and that water snake was obviously trying to imitate the cottonmouth in its appearance and its shape. But I'm looking for slit eyes. When I get to that point, I'm looking for slit eyes and pitted nostrils.
Yeah.
If it has pitted nostrils and slit eyes, it's poisonous in this part of the world.
Right.
And so you don't mess with it. But if it's round eyes, if it has round eyes and not an obvious pit on the nostril, then I know that when it strikes, you know, it might scratch, it might hurt, it might get infected, but I know that I don't have to worry about rushing my kid to the hospital right then. And I know not to beat it to death.
I was going to say, that's your attitude, but what's the attitude of people around here?
Well, anybody,
say like Louisiana, Texas,
and I'm probably not the right person to ask about that, because the majority of the circles that I run in wouldn't mess with a snake. If there was a snake, we'd back off.
Right.
The attitude of people is, if there's a snake out there, treat it like it's poisonous and don't mess with it. But if if you find it in your house, most people would just try to kill it. If you found it in your yard, in your garage, in your barn, most people would just beat it to death. And I'm not, I wasn't raised that way. I was raised more with a curiosity about how they live and how they're involved in the world. And so I want to know whether or not it's poisonous, and I want to know how to teach my kids whether or not it's poisonous.
Let's see, what have we got here? What have you been sketching while I was sketching those?
Well, you were sketching those. I was with you for one of them. What'd you call the speckled king snake? I got down on the ground with you and sketched the speckled king snake. But when you got to the cottonmouth, I kind of stepped back and got you sketching the cottonmouth. And you can make him holding the head of the cottonmouth and the cottonmouth wrapping around him while he's sketching him. So I just kind of stood back and let that happen. Actually, this wasn't the cottonmouth, because the cottonmouth didn't wrap around you. This was the water snake.
The water snake.
The water snake, but
so they are easy to get mixed up.
Yeah, but I did step back and let you hold him, and then when you let him free to sketch, I didn't want to come in any closer, because I know he's trying to appear more dangerous than he is, because he's not poisonous. So but he wants you to think he's poisonous. So he's more, and he doesn't have the expense of the venom. Venom's expensive, so he's going to strike more frequently. The cottonmouth doesn't want to strike at all, because he doesn't want to waste the venom. He wants to save the venom for dinner.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I'm too big to eat.
I'm too big to eat.
I have to go on a diet if they want to eat me. Got to do everything in that sketchbook.
I do. I'll go to the bars and sketch, or I might sit down and do some calculations, or most of it is lists of how I'm going to spend my day.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. Thanks so much for letting me help you.
Better get Joe's stuff back to him.
Okay. This is Joe's spot. Maybe you could just stake it down.
Yeah. Just leave it here. He'll find it. Put it on one of his boards.